Antarctica is a vast, enigmatic continent blanketed in ice, so immense that nothing but ice extends for 5 kilometers beneath its surface. This colossal mass of ice spans an area of 14 million square kilometers. To put the sheer scale of Antarctica into simple terms, it is larger in size than the United States. Moreover, this entire continent is essentially a single massive block of ice. But have you ever stopped to imagine why Antarctica remains such a mysterious place? Why do people fear venturing there? Antarctica is the 5th largest continent on Earth, as well as the highest, coldest, and driest. It is a place where no bare land exists, where no vegetation grows, and where the sun's rays rarely penetrate. Regardless of the season, be it winter or summer, Antarctica's temperature consistently ranges from -50 to -90 degrees Celsius. Yet, despite these extreme conditions, the existence of over 400 lakes hidden beneath the ice has been discovered here. Scientists have even uncovered traces of Hitler's secret bunker within this frozen landscape. Surprisingly, however, no specific time zone is observed here, nor is the continent subject to the jurisdiction of any single nation. In fact, across the entire expanse of Antarctica, there are only 2 ATM machines. Viewed from above, Antarctica might not appear any different from what our imagination suggests. Yet, concealed beneath this vast, thick sheet of ice lie mysteries so profound that they defy the limits of our imagination, secrets that are truly spine-chilling to contemplate. This continent has not only posed insurmountable obstacles to human settlement, but has also harbored countless enigmas within its depths. Mysteries so extraordinary that once revealed, even the wildest science fiction tales might seem to pale in comparison. A strange skull. Scientists frequently unearth fossils of ancient, extinct creatures from this frozen continent. Among these discoveries, the fossils of woolly mammoths are particularly notable. These findings serve as proof that approximately 1.5 million years ago, elephant-like woolly mammoths roamed the continent of Antarctica, creatures whose tusks were utilized by prehistoric humans to craft weapons. However, in 1988, scientists made a discovery here that defied all expectations, a fossil bearing a striking resemblance to that of a modern human. However, its skull was abnormal, significantly larger in size than that of an ordinary human. This skull bore a striking resemblance to the aliens depicted in Hollywood films. Initially, this discovery left the scientific community astounded. Upon conducting carbon dating, researchers determined that the skeleton of this individual was approximately 80,000 years old. After extensive research, scientists concluded that certain ancient tribes in Egypt and Peru employed various methods to artificially alter their head shapes. For them, modifying head shape was a cultural custom. In reality, the skulls of infants are quite soft. These tribes would therefore tightly bind their children's heads with ropes. As the child grew, the shape of their head would gradually elongate. Yet, the underlying reason why they sought to alter their head shapes remains a mystery to scientists to this day. According to scientists, 1 million years ago, there existed some form of connection among the tribes inhabiting Africa, South America, and Antarctica. This link lends support to the theories of tectonic movement and continental plate separation, evidence suggesting that in its early history, Antarctica was a continent teeming with lush vegetation. Subsequently, these forests became blanketed in snow, and gradually this frozen wilderness transformed into a massive sheet of ice. The Nazi base. Hitler harbored a dream of bringing the entire world under his dominion. He sought to extend his empire across the globe, and a significant testament to this ambition is the existence of Hitler's Nazi base in Antarctica. Even in a place like Antarctica, a desolate, uninhabited wilderness populated by a handful of scientists, Hitler's Nazi forces managed to establish a presence. Hitler had constructed secret bases in various parts of the world to stockpile weaponry. However, in 2016, a team of scientists discovered over 500 pieces of military equipment on this remote continent. Additionally, they unearthed the remnants of several destroyed bunkers. The site yielded a substantial cache of weaponry, as well as soldiers' boots and uniforms, artifacts that serve as irrefutable proof of the German military's presence in the region during the Second World War. It is believed that this secret base was constructed in 1942 under Hitler's orders and served as a bunker for approximately 2 years. This base was garrisoned by Hitler's elite troops, who sustained themselves by hunting and consuming the large seals found in the region. In reality, since Antarctica was a frozen wilderness, no other nation had cast its gaze upon the continent. For this very reason, Hitler selected this location as the most secure site available. Moreover, Hitler was born with the ambition of bringing the entire world under his dominion. Thus, he established a military base even in such a remote and uninhabited region. The mysterious ice ship. In 1955, a ship departed from England bound for an expedition to Antarctica. The vessel carried a crew of 134 members. However, they became entrapped amidst the ice floes of Antarctica. Numerous search teams were dispatched, yet no trace of the crew was ever found. They ultimately perished buried beneath the ice. However, in 2016, satellite imagery captured something astonishing. The images revealed a ship trapped in the ice, though the entire vessel was completely blanketed in white snow. The ship measured 400 feet in length and lay encased in ice 160 kilometers from the coastline. Authorities aren't sure exactly how the ship managed to reach such a remote distance from the shoreline, nor do they know its country of origin or precisely how it came to be stranded there. This vessel was in every respect a complete mystery. Visually, it resembles a cruise liner. Photographs clearly revealed distinct details of the ship's cabins and hulls. Since going viral, the ship has been the subject of endless speculation and conjecture. One particular theory emerged surrounding this enigmatic vessel, suggesting that it was not merely a ship, but rather a secret base belonging to Hitler. According to many, Hitler anticipated that the Second World War might lead to a fuel shortage for his artillery. Consequently, he dispatched Nazi soldiers aboard a ship to search for fuel in that region. It is plausible that the image depicts one of these Nazi vessels, as 2 of Hitler's ships were indeed lost in this region. Conversely, a newer theory posits that this may be the very British ship that vanished in 1955 while undertaking an expedition to Antarctica. An unusual animal. In 2009, a discovery by archaeologists left the scientific community perplexed when they unearthed the skeleton of a cat. In itself, the discovery of a cat's skeleton was not particularly surprising. What astonished scientists was the realization that this creature was no ordinary feline. It was a cat capable of laying eggs. Laboratory analysis of the fossilized remains revealed that this species of cat had roamed the Earth some 250 million years ago. According to scientists, this peculiar creature migrated from South Africa to Antarctica, likely driven by the effects of global warming. Such a journey was feasible at the time, since Antarctica was then part of a single massive supercontinent known as Pangaea. Blood falls. In 1911, an Australian geologist discovered this blood waterfall while undertaking an expedition towards the Taylor Glacier. He was the one who named this waterfall Blood Falls. Flowing from the Taylor Glacier, this waterfall is as red as blood. Initially, scientists hypothesized that the water's crimson hue was caused by the presence of some red-colored organism within it. However, subsequent research revealed that the water contains an exceptionally high concentration of iron oxide. Underground lakes. If you possess a basic knowledge of geography, you are surely aware that the regions surrounding the North and South Poles are the coldest places on Earth. In Antarctica, where temperatures can plummet to as low as -90 degrees Celsius, discovering any form of liquid water is truly a remarkable phenomenon. Yet, hidden beneath this massive sheet of ice, 5 kilometers down, lie more than 400 lakes. The perplexing question arises: how can water exist beneath such an immense mass of ice? Scientists have a simple answer to this query. In reality, the water beneath the ice remains in a liquid state due to the immense pressure exerted upon it. Furthermore, heat radiating from the Earth's core helps maintain the water's temperature at a stable level. These underground lakes represent one of Earth's true wonders, for they harbor a bizarre ecosystem unlike any other found on the planet. Strange bacteria, microscopic organisms, and fish inhabit these lakes, species that exist nowhere else on Earth. Moreover, the bodies of these microscopic creatures and animals have miraculously adapted to the surrounding conditions, specifically the extreme temperatures, lack of light, and absence of oxygen. There are even certain types of bacteria here that require neither oxygen nor sunlight to survive. According to experts, such bacteria are typically found on planets where oxygen and solar radiation do not exist. But now the question remains: how did such bacteria come to exist here on Earth? It is truly a miraculous phenomenon. The dry valleys. The entire continent of Antarctica is blanketed in ice. Consequently, most people assume there could be no shortage of water in this region. However, you might be surprised to learn that Antarctica is home to the driest places on Earth. In 1903, a valley was discovered here that bore absolutely no trace of ice or snow. This area is completely arid. Most astonishingly, this particular location has not received a single drop of rainfall for nearly 2 million years. The mystery behind this phenomenon lies in the fact that winds here blow at tremendous speeds, reaching up to 200 miles per hour. For this reason, scientists believe that it is precisely these powerful winds that cause the snow to evaporate the moment it touches the ground. It is worth noting that the atmosphere of Earth's dry valleys region bears striking similarities to the atmosphere of Mars, a planet situated hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. This is precisely why NASA tested its Viking robot in Antarctica's dry valleys before sending it to Mars. Friends, please let us know in the comments how you liked this video. That is all for today. For now, I bid you farewell. We shall meet again in the next episode.